Okay, this is the most basic interview cheat sheet that I have for cybersecurity beginners, and you can go ahead and grab this cheat sheet in the Tech Career School. For those of you who don't know, I've been promoting this like crazy, but we are hosting a cybersecurity challenge, job hunting challenge for first-time cybersecurity beginners. Veterans can come through too. I'm going to show you guys how to go out there and apply to jobs that have just been posted up on LinkedIn. These are like actual hiring managers that are looking for people to join their team, what kind of messages you should send out. Obviously, for the sake of this video right now, we are talking about interview cheat sheet, but like my people are averaging anywhere between, I'll say 15 to 40 plus interviews like a week. It can happen that fast for you. It's only a $67 flat fee, month to month subscription, cancel basically anytime. But let's talk about how to go ahead and knock this interview cheat sheet out of the ballpark for you. First things first is tell me about yourself. You need to know the answer to that question. As a cybersecurity beginner, you need to know why cybersecurity, because they're going to know. They get a lot of people that quit. It's kind of mind-boggling to think that there's people out there that would get a certification, pass it, and then do all that, get the job, and quit. But there are. What is your greatest strength? What is your biggest weakness? Explain technical concept in like simple terms. How would you respond to a ransomware attack? What's an IOC or like an indicator of compromise? Describe a project you're proud of. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? How do you like? Do you have any basically questions for us? Okay, you want to go ahead and know this cheat sheet from the back of your hands. I made a video about this that actually did very well. Tell me about yourself. Like, you want to go ahead and tell them when you're talking about tell me about yourself, why did you choose to go ahead and get into this field, and really sell them on the fact of how passionate that you are, because you have to understand they're taking a risk on you. So and we're going to be mock interviewing this a lot in school with your mock interview partners, but you have to come off, I think, really affirmative, like a very assertive, confident, and like you have to inspire a certain degree of like calmness in them to know that you aren't going to quit and walk away from them. They're going to spend all this time training you just to waste your time. Why cybersecurity? Also a very important question. I see so many cybersecurity beginners just basically botch this question. Like, if your legitimate reason is like, I needed a job and it seems pretty safe, and a lot of people told me that companies are hiring for like crazy. I did some classes, and I figured I was good enough at it, and I did a little bit more work, and I realized I got a lot better at it. So yeah, that's, I'm kind of here for the money, but also at the same time, it's a job that I like enough where I don't feel like I'm going to kill myself doing it. Whatever it is, don't try to pray that these questions aren't coming. They're coming. What's your greatest strength? What's your weaknesses? Are example of behavior questions. They want to know how you deal with challenges and obstacles and how do you overcome them. And you have to go out there and learn the STAR framework. Explain technical concept in simple terms. This one is less about this, like, oh, there's a firewall, it's a bouncer. They want to see calmness. Can you just go out there and communicate something very basic? Because desperation is not referable. That's why we do so much mock interviewing. A lot of times people even know, I would say 80% of the time people don't know the answer. 20% of the time that people do, 15% of those times, people are going in there so nervous. Like, there was nothing wrong with the answer, but you kind of position yourself as there's something wrong with you. Nobody thinks being nervous on an interview is adorable. It's unfortunately... it's just like, it doesn't make people want to go ahead and grab the DocuSign and give you an offer letter, and I want you to take a job in 30 days, right? So it's all about mocking. How would you go ahead and respond to a ransomware attack? Okay, isolate, alert, but I wouldn't go ahead and actually, the bigger mistake for this is like when people are listing it out and they're actually doing it in a very technical, first thing I would isolate, then I would alert. Then it's like number 3, I would preserve. Like, okay, so practice, it sounded like so the first, well, I mean, it really depends. I mean, I would have to go out there and actually acknowledge that it's indeed a ransomware attack. Well, let's just say that it is. First thing I think I'd do is I would go ahead, if I remember correctly, the protocol was isolate the infected systems. The next thing that I would go ahead and do is alert the SOC or IT team that's on staff right now. The third thing that I would do is I would preserve the logs from it. Like you would go out there and practice sounding more natural. That's why mock interviews are so important. What's an IOC? Indicator of compromise. This is an IOC evidence. Describe a project that you're proud of. I don't know if you guys been following the series, but like I've had a list of projects out here. One of the biggest things that people have not been doing very well transitioning into this field is having a good portfolio of side projects. So and we aim to go out there and change all that because we gave you guys a list that you guys can go out there and copy. Let's see here. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? This one I think is very individualistic, but don't say things that you shouldn't say is I see me taking your job. Do you have any questions for us? Yes. Great questions for you to go out there and ask is this. What's the biggest security challenge your team faces right now? How do you mentor a junior analyst? Very good question. What tools do you guys go ahead and use? Bonus, quick answers for technical questions. Like what's the CIA triad? Ports for da-da-da-da-da. How you get good at them is this. And I would probably leave this for like the next video. So many people have like a game plan of like, oh, these are all the interview questions that I need to know, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to go crush every single interview question. And then they get rocked a few times and they don't really know, like, oh shoot, it's not going to go down the way that you think it's going to go down unless you have coaching. But if you don't know the answer to those interview questions, I would say one thing that you should really go ahead and practice, I should probably put it at the very top, is this. I'm so sorry. As you can see, I am new to this field and I know the answer to this question, or I do not know the answer to this question. I know the answer to this question right now, but I'm blacking out. I don't know the answer to this question and I should. Can I go ahead and follow up with you? You have an exponentially better chance of converting an interview into an offer if you actually show that you fight back. So many people just give up and it's just awkward silence. I've seen this as a recruiter so many times where on the hiring side where it's just like, so, how would you respond to a ransomware attack? And they're just like, we're like, don't do that. I've seen people lie, and it's just like they got caught robbing a bank, like they got caught with like some stolen bubble gum at a Target. Don't do that either. Like, okay, ask yourself this question: who would you hire? Right? I know the answer to that question. You may not believe me, and it doesn't matter because I should know the answer to that question. I'm blanking out right now. I don't have an answer for you. Can I follow up with you? Can I go ahead and follow up with you tomorrow in an email with the better answer? Number two, I have absolutely no idea what the answer to that question is. Let me tell you how I'll go ahead and find out. Can I take out my iPhone? Do it on the spot. Show them you're going to go out there and hustle because you want to know why? Hey, listen, working in cybersecurity, there's going to be a lot of times when you're going to have a problem that you don't have the answer to. So what do you do when you don't know something? You're going to get on Google. You're going to get on YouTube. You're going to get on TikTok. You're going to get on ChatGPT, right? You can go out there and figure it out. So you have to show them how do you figure. In fact, the interview doesn't really stop. This is why so many people need our career coaching. They're not going to stop grilling you until they hit you with until they get you at that point where it's just like you don't know the answer to that question. So still this cheat sheet, I have about another 100 more questions here along with answer templates. Join the challenge. See you in school. Don't be late to school.